The Kickstarter was funded in 22 hours. I am shocked. Hello everyone, author DL Tillery here, the Mistress of Horror. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, about you press that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. It's the second Sunday in April. We're already in spring. It's crazy. The time's crazy. I'm going to hit a few topics during my vlog this time around because I have a lot going on, as you may or may not know if you're watching my channel. That being said, let's jump right into the biggest news, why don't we? I launched a Kickstarter. For Caliostro, Tale Light Vertin, my first full-size novel debut. And when I say full-size novel, I mean, we're not talking about epic, because I don't write epics, okay? So there won't be like any 500-page, not yet, type of deal. For me, that would probably be an omnibus. But I decided to launch a Kickstarter. It did take a lot of preparation, obviously. I talked about it for months before I ever got to put it together. I did the thing with that, and I launched it the other day and had a launch party, which was really, really fun, by the way. A very fun launch party. So the launch party was underway around 6. Well, I started at 6:30, and it was underway right away. And then around 6:45, I pressed the launch button publicly on the live stream, and it was funded the very next day, just shy of 24 hours. It was funded within 22 hours, and I was ecstatic. With just 10 backers, it was funded. And so I still have 28 days to go. So I'm looking now towards stretch goals if I get more backers and such. So, and it doesn't end until May the 12th. So if you're interested in backing the Kickstarter, then you still have your chance. This is a time-based Kickstarter exclusive. You will not be able to get Caliostro before near the end of the year if you are not a Kickstarter backer. So that's kind of an incentive to the people who are supporting the launch of Caliostro. So if you do back it, you'll get it a couple months before, and some exclusive stuff that will not be to the public. That being said, it's still there. If you want to support it, you can. But I'm just so happy that the Kickstarter went off without a hitch. And I'm going to do a whole thing on, the Kickstarter once it's over. So that'll be in May sometime. And then all the other stresses begin at that point, because there's a lot of work to do for the Kickstarter once it's funded. And then you have Kickstarter sending you the funds, and that takes weeks. Processing takes a week, and then sending the funds takes more weeks. And then you have to make that all depends, like all the backers' cards are cleared and all those things good on that end. And then I have to order everything. If there's anything that needs to be designed, then I have to have that designed, because the money is finally to me. So it's things like that that will play a part in the aftermath, which I'm going to talk about all those things once the Kickstarter is done. And I start doing the fulfillments. So wow, I'm still like in shock a little bit. It's not that I didn't believe that it would fund, but I didn't think it would be that fast. Like, I really didn't. I never got the Projects We Love badge. It's quite random. Doesn't matter how fast your Kickstarter funds. It doesn't matter, I guess, how large it could be funded, because that's still yet to be seen, because I've only been doing it for like on the second day now, so I have no way of knowing that. Again, it is like random, like people were saying, which is the goofiest thing ever to me, but okay. Um, so if you go to Kickstarter and let's say you didn't have the name of my campaign, it is on the first page. It is funded, so it's going to be running the entire time. So, yeah, some of the tiers are limited. So, if you are interested in getting one of the bigger tiers, then don't hold off too long. As I never know who's going to come in and see it, because the audience on Kickstarter can see it. And I've had people I'm not aware of actually backing it. So, you never know what's going to happen. But I'm looking forward to maybe one of the stretch goals will be met, which is really cool for the people who have physical tiers on mine, because the physical tiers get more things. I'm funded. I'm my first Kickstarter ever. I'm really proud of the whole thing, and I'm so grateful to the people who gave a fuck, who cared enough to back me, support me. Now, I definitely put this out there. I have multiple social medias. My personal social media, Facebook, for instance, I have over 3,000 friends on my Facebook personal page. Over 3,000, and that's due to do with my long history in dance, and met a lot of people doing that and being in the entertainment field. That a lot of people found me that way. So I have over 3,000 people on my Facebook personal page. One of my dance pages, I have over 1,000 and something people on that one. I have over 500 and something on my author page, business page on Facebook. I have 550 something on YouTube. I have about 800 and something on TikTok. On my Instagram, I have around 600 and something. On my threads is about some of the people are repeat, but a lot of people are not. And then on threads, I have about close to 200 on there, because that's a new word for me. And I know I'm forgetting one. X, formerly Twitter, I have over 1,000 on there. So really, on my social media platforms, I'm about at 6,000 or more people. And then I have my newsletter, which is not very large. I have like 20 something people, and that's organic. I didn't ever use like story origins or any of those yet. I plan to. Um, but I have like 20 people for my newsletter. So I've been putting this Kickstarter everywhere. So plenty of eyes have been on it. And it's just the thing about authors and writers' numbers about how when you tell people about something or mention it to them, the return of numbers. Like we talked about this about reviews, book reviews. When you send out arcs, when people buy your book, the turnaround of how many people actually are going to leave a review is very similar to this. So I put this Kickstarter in front of over 6,000 people. And of those 6,000 people, I think, I want to say, I think I ended up getting to 14 people for the pre-launch page before it launched. So when it launched, all 14 of those people got it's launched. And then during the launch, after a little while, it went up to about 18 people. So, and then they do a breakdown for you on Kickstarter. Before I got to my funded goal part, it was almost funded. It was six of the 14 people who followed it were backers. Right. So even the 14 that I got, that it got sent out to, from Kickstarter, only 6 of those came and they, you know, became pledges. So numbers are really like, you don't know. Doesn't matter how big your audience is. Doesn't matter how small your audience is. It's all about how many people you get to tell and put it in front of. And I even manually put it in front of people, like, as I run other businesses, so I let them know. I haven't seen any from them yet, but that doesn't mean I won't. But I'm just pointing out the difference of numbers, because we're only talking about a day and a half. So, just like if you do end up running a Kickstarter, don't not start one or run one because you don't have a large audience, because it doesn't matter. It's all about you pushing it and putting the best Kickstarter together that you can at the end of the day. Anyway, that's the Kickstarter portion of this. I'm so happy I got to the goal, and let's see what happens at the end of this Kickstarter. I'll keep you updated. On to writing stuff. I'm currently writing the rest of the novella for Winter Wolf, which is the companion novella to Caliostro's book 1. Now, it's going to actually be presented in the printed version of Caliostro Tale of Life Urchin, along with 2 other short tales that are based in Caliostro's world that have never been published before. I am working on that this month. I am still advertising my Thorns of My Heart, a dark romance poetry collection, because that launched in February, the very last days of February. So technically March was kind of its launch month. So it's been out for a month and about a week and a half now, and it did pretty good. But that's when you bring up the numbers thing again, I don't know how many I've sold now, but I guess I've sold about, during the week of launch of the release of the book, I sold probably like 40 copies. And out of the 40 copies, because you know how people finishing books, they go on TBR, you can't expect the reviews to be from most of those books. I have 4 reviews because there's a fake review still on there, because Amazon has turned into Google. They literally are Google down, where they don't contact you back. Even if you report, so if you do something wrong on there, I guess you'll be fine. Because if I reported the fake review, other people who reviewed the book reported the fake review. Nothing was done. So good job, Amazon, KDP. Good job ignoring authors when they're following your rules about fake reviews. So they didn't do anything. I did email them about it as well. No reply back. So they have no customer service at this point whatsoever. They used to, but now they don't care as much, I suppose, because they feel like they have less competition. But believe me, that's not the truth. So the fake review will stay up there, which it is what it is. The person who wrote it just will continue to look like a fool. Because your words are forever etched there to show how foolish you were to put up lies, because since you never read the book, at least take the time to read the book and not to try to sabotage someone's book. I think people believe that their little words have so much power that everyone is sheep and just going to follow whatever you say out your mouth. Keyboard warriors. So it's like wasted effort, like you have nothing else better to do in your life. So anyway, I have 4 actual book reviews on Amazon, and I have, if you count all of them with Goodreads, then I have about, I think, 5 or 6, which is still decent, because when you sell a certain amount of books, like, seriously though, like, you can't, like, reviews are hard to get, for real. So that the other thing I'm working on, my schedule for this year for publishing, Caliostro is launching to the Kickstarter backers around August and September. The deadline is for sure September, but if I could get everything to people shipped out by August, I will. Then the public launch for Caliostro is October, which is perfect because the month of Halloween. But I also plan to release the sequel to The Room Within, Trapped Within. That is going to be coming out later this year as well. And I have yet another horror collection that I plan to release later this year based around Caliostro's world. So this is a nice novel to have that's separate from Caliostro, which I'm really looking forward to that one because there's some pretty juicy stories in there that I've been holding for a minute. That being said, two of those are two of the ones that's going to be published first in Caliostro's novel, but they will also be in the short horror collection Beyond the Veil, which is the first time I'm releasing the name. I believe, I don't think I've said it before, but it is called Beyond the Veil, a horror collection. So that's another one slated for this year. I have to try to spread them out a little bit, but it might be too much for people. But we'll see. There's always an audience. And with that, I think that's all the stuff in my dark category. Let's see, the Room Within sequel, Caliostro, the Beyond the Veil, and then, of course, the Dark Romance Poetry Collection, which is already out. So that's 4 titles released. And I am kind of counting Winter Wolf, the novella. It will be in Caliostro's book, but I am going to, at some point, release it solo as well. But we will see about when that will happen. I'm not going to speak on my romance stuff yet, because my schedule is going to be kind of packed already. So I don't know how that's going to go. We'll see what happens and during the summer. If I am ahead of schedule on finishing all the editing before it goes to my editors, then I will write more of my romance because a lot of it's outlined. So that means I could just boom, boom, boom. So I am looking forward to that. Plus, I have some other things on the roster for projects working with others. Anyway, that's some other stuff I have going on. And then there's the third portion of this vlog that I want to talk about. Being a full-time career woman and being a author, it's a lot. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of us out here doing that. Trying to find time to write, trying to find time to just do everything that I want to do and am doing. It's a lot to take on, you know? And I was looking at my schedule the other day, and weeks ago, I was very stressed because I have high stress anyway. And then sometimes it gets higher and higher, especially around tax season. And like, 'cause you got to renew this and do that, and a lot of work. And I do my own taxes as well. So trying to balance everything. It's been a little lot for me lately because I work my full-time company, which I have a cleaning company. I'm starting another business, a home baking business, or snack business, I should say. That's like box snacks related. So I'm going to be starting that hopefully later this summer into fall. And then I have my publishing company, and I am trying to integrate some more of the other things that I wanted to do with that, book cover making for one, and some digital services involved in that. But I'm a very good planner, so I do manage to do all the things. But my goal is to work from home at some point and no longer do, just the cleaning business, because I do need to be home because I am a homeschool mom. So I do homeschool usually when I get off work in the evenings with my daughter. And I need to be home soon with her because she's maturing and growing, and she needs me. Because, being a female and her body's changing, she's at that age, and she does need me. So I need to get more into my remote work so I could be home, but I have to make at least what I make now. So I'm transitioning into remote work, which is good for my authorship as well, because that's what could be part of it if it pans out. That could be a part of my main income. So I'm working towards that, but that's not my main source of with that, because that's a slow build. So I'm not stressing that portion. But I'm in the middle of planning stages. And I'm a planner writer. I didn't used to be, which I had spoke to SD Houston about that today, actually, when she was doing her live streams. I'm in the chat, and I was talking about, like, how I wasn't always a planner, but I am now. And she was talking about how I do, planning in all parts, other parts of my life. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of have to, because, all the stuff that I do. And, you don't really think about all the stuff that you do all the time and how your life is, unless, you see other people talk about it from an outward perspective. And then it sounds like it's way more than you imagine. And you know in your head that it's a lot, but I think when you hear it from someone else, then it really solidifies what's happening. I tip my hat to anyone who has to work full time, try to do their writing career, and anything else you have to juggle. It's a lot. It is a lot. So, yeah, I'm managing because I do plan. I'm a heavy planner. I It's not for everyone, but I could plan better, believe it or not. I mean, my calendar, my phone is always active, and it has like all the bells and whistles of going off, doing this, doing that. And that's what my client schedule is, like going, like, who I have. And then my writing schedule, that's on my computer. So usually I have a writing schedule when I have projects to complete that are, they have to be completed type of situation. Like now, the novella, I have like, okay, I have this window to do the outline. I have this window to write the first draft. I have this window to edit the first draft. I have this window to send it out to readers. And then I have another window for the second round of edits. And then the assistant editing with programs, then beta readers, then editor. So that usually is about a month process in most cases. If I'm doing multiples, then I try to keep them doing them at the same time. Right now I'm just doing that one. It's not a big deal. But I also have a schedule for reading, because I do try to get reading in. Like if I'm reading a friend's book or another author's book, then I try to schedule in reading time. And I usually read in the evenings after work and when I'm going to bed, because that's the only time I have is when I'm going to bed. So that usually gives me about an hour to read, unless I have the weekend and I'm not over bombarded with doing things on the weekend, which most of the time I am. I still make a window of reading for at least 3 or 4 hours to finish the books and stuff that I am in the middle of doing. So my planner life is still matching of how I am a planner for my writing. Uh, but yeah, so whew, it's a lot. I have a lot going on, but that I'm used to that. You might hear my voice is a little hoarse, because when I get stressed, then I end up losing my voice for a little while, and then it comes back. I'm kind of relaxed right now, to be honest, because the Kickstarter is in a good position. A lot is off my shoulders. Like the day I launched, as soon as I launched it, I felt a big weight go off my shoulders, because it happened, and now it's funded. So now I have a little while that I can prepare for the end of the Kickstarter. Just breathe. Just breathe. Either way. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I have this month for my writer's blog. Constantly doing a lot going on. I constantly. So, but it's happy stuff. I'm very busy, of course, but and keeping with life stuff. My daughter's about to graduate from the second grade, and she's going into the third grade. She's growing up, body changes, me explaining all that to her. So it's something. It's a lot of somethings going on. But anyway, I'll keep you up to date with all the excitement. Keep a watch on the channel. If you follow me on my social medias, the links are below. The link to the Kickstarter is below. The link to my link tree is below. And my Etsy store is live, of course, as I talked about before. And that's below as well. If you want to get a copy of Thorns of My Heart that's signed, then you can go to my Etsy store. If you just want to get a copy off her Amazon, you can get the ebook and or regular paperback on there. If you want to support the Kickstarter link is going to be in every single video and live stream that I do now until it's done. Whew, so, yeah, check out all the things I got going on. And I would love for you to read Caliostro Tale Live Virgin. There's an ebook version, there's a paperback and a hardback version. So even if you want to just support the Kickstarter a little bit and you don't have the funds right now for that, I do have a $5 tier that starts with the Room Within and Fractals, and then a $10 tier for the Narvella with Winter Wolf, and then I have a $15 tier, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like trying to fit a budget of everyone if they want to assist. And the lowest assisted, you could go a couple dollars even. Look out for more videos about Caliostro going forward. I did do Caliostro's official trailer, then the Caliostro character trailer for him, and then Allison's character trailer, and then I have the Veil trailer that will be going out next week. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video or live stream. Stay scared.